Good morning, everybody. It's Rose Coleman coming to you live from my craft room here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Got my coffee in my Starbucks mug. I'm ready to go here. Feeling fine. Had my vaccine yesterday, so I'm super grateful to have my first dose. I got my first dose of Moderna yesterday, and I am so happy. My arm is a bit sore. I had my left arm done. But I guess that's par for the course, right? It's, it's a muscular and an IM injection, so it's to be expected to be a little bit sore. Anyway, that's all I have so far. Luckily, felt a little tired last night, but I feel fine today so far. Gonna go for a nice walk today and breathe in the fresh air and get things moving here. And that's supposed to help, right? It's supposed to help a lot just to get things moving. So, got my coffee. I have a fun card I want to play with, want to create with you today, using a stamp set that's in a mini catalog. Hi, Phyllis. Thanks for joining me. If you're joining me live, let me know where you're joining me from. I'd love to know where you are today. Where you live in the world. I have lots of people joining me all over the place, and I love to meet new people, meet new stampers. I love to share my love of stamping, as you guys know. Okay, so I'm gonna put my coffee down. Just gonna close my door here. Just give me a second. Ugh. Okay. From Indiana. Wow, thank you for joining me, Phyllis. Good to have you with us. Okay, so we are going to flip the camera and get started here. All right, I'm going to turn my camera down. Just bear with me while I straighten things up here. We are going to play with a gorgeous stamp set from the mini catalog. It's called Pretty Perennials, you guys, and this one is not carrying over into the annual catalog. So the good news is we have until the end of June to play with this stamp set, to order it, to play with it, to create with it. It is so much fun, you guys. I love it. Hi, Renee. Thanks for joining me. Good to have you with me. This stamp set was designed by $1 Million Achiever Dina Rico. And, I love the florals. I love the greetings. I love the font. I love the different things that you can make with this one. The word happy, you can use that for happy birthday, happy for you, you make me happy, sending lots of happy, and they even put the word mail, sending lots of happy mail. And there's a ton of dies, you guys. I've got a lot of them already cut out here. I wanted to show you. I've got more over there on my desk. You can see I've been cutting and creating with these dies all morning, and I'm having lots of fun. The ones that have the outline like this and they're not detailed, you can actually cut through 2 layers at a time. Makes it so easy to create with them and to create lots and lots of flowers and to decorate your scrapbook pages or your cards. I had my scrapbook club last night and I had so much fun with the ladies, visiting with them and creating with them. I create the pages and I cut all the layers for them, and I love, some of the ladies do their own spin on things, and I love seeing what they come up with. It's a lot of fun. If you're interested in learning more about scrapbooking or memory keeping or any of my card classes, please reach out. I'd love to give you more information. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to create a card. I'm casing a card from the catalog using this stamp set. Okay, so we're going to use Pretty Perennials. We're going to have a Blushing Bride card base. So it measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it in the middle at 4 1/4. So it's going to open. It's actually going to be a tent fold with the score line at the top, like this. I have a layer of Blushing Bride to go on the top here, and it measures 4 by 5 1/4. I love the tone on tone when you put the same color on the same color card base. I love that look. If you're wondering what card I'm actually casing, I'm going to be casing this one right here on page 77 at the top of the page here. Now, I believe that the design artist used Petal Pink, but I'm using Blushing Bride, so it'll look a little bit different here. But that's okay. We're going to see how this turns out. I haven't made it yet, so this is a totally off the fly trying to case this card. Okay, so we're going to take our Blushing Bride layer and our Blushing Bride card ink, matching ink, and we're going to do a little tone-on-tone stamping on the background here with the teeny tiny flower image. There's a little tiny flower image in here. So I'm just going to randomly stamp all over the background, just getting that beautiful little subtle tone-on-tone look. And we'll just add lots of little blooms here to the background. This is kind of like creating your own designer series paper, right? You're just stamping the background, going off the edge to give it that continuous look. And I'll do one more over here, and that should be good. Okay, so there's my background. I'm just going to set that aside for a second because we're going to deal with, whoops, all of these little dies that I've cut out here. So I've put the matching die on top of the coordinating cardstock that I've already cut out to show you like the images. So we're just going to do one at a time, and I've got them on my silicone mat so that I can see where I'm stamping. So I'm just going to remove my dies off of here, and we're going to quickly stamp up all these pieces. So we've got little leaves, we've got large leaves, we've got these accent blooms. I'm just going to set those off to the side. We're not going to be stamping on those. They're going to be accents on top of these larger blooms here today. So we've got leaves, the detailed leaves, and then the solid leaves. They're going to go together. This is a nice little stem. We're going to stamp that one and another bloom here. So lots and lots of different dies. So I've got my solids here for my stamping, and then I've got my accents over here. Okay, so let's bring in some stamps. I've got, let me just straighten up here. So I've got all my stamps mounted. So I've got my big bloom here. It's going to coordinate with that one. I've got my medium bloom, my smaller bloom. I've got a cluster here that goes with this one. Oh my, I've got everything here. I've got my stems that coordinate with that one. So we're going to stamp all of these today. And what else do I have? I have, yes, another one that I forgot to bring in here. This die here, this die cut, and this little cluster of blooms. Got that one. Need lots of blocks for this card. Well, I mean, you can take them off and replace them, but I just got all my blocks loaded up. Got this one, which is going to coordinate with this one here. And then I've got my leaves, and I've put them on 2 separate blocks on opposite sides to try and maximize my use of my blocks. And I've got my greetings, which I'll do in just a second. So let's just stamp up these ones and see how it goes. All right, so my colors that I'm using, I'm going to be using Bumblebee, Cinnamon Cider, Misty Moonlight, and my Blushing Bride here. Okay, so let's start off with our Bumblebee. All right, you want to keep your chamois close by. Whoops, I've got my chamois right here so that I can clean up my stamps as I use them. So let's start with the big guy. So I'm going to ink up the big one with my Bumblebee. Now this one, it's not really symmetrical, but when you put it on the background of the silicone mat, you can see exactly where you're stamping, and it just makes it super easy. So just press straight down and straight up, and it will stick to the photopolymer. That's totally normal. It's just come on in underneath here and pull that off. So there's my big bloom in a Bumblebee color. And I think that's all I need for Bumblebee. So I'll go ahead and clean that up. And now we're going to move on to Cinnamon Cider. So Cinnamon Cider is a beautiful, really nice, it's kind of between Cajun Craze and soft suede, maybe? I'm not sure. You'll see when I stamp it. I love, love, love this color. It's a beautiful color. So let's do this one here. Oh no, that's my Blushing Bride one. Okay, so we're gonna do these little guys. So we have this bloom, and I'm gonna stamp that on here. So let's see. I'm gonna stamp it without putting my head in the camera, you guys. So we're just gonna stamp the solid on there. And then this one also coordinates with it. It's a nice little outline. So I'm just gonna come on in here over top, and that's just gonna add some nice texture with the outline. I've got that one done. And then this one here with the cluster, I'm gonna stamp that one in Cinnamon Cider on here. There we go. And what else do we have? This one here is my other cluster of stamps. So we're gonna stamp that one over top. And you can see how quickly this goes when you have all of your die cuts ready to go. It makes it super easy. Okay, so I've got my cinnamon cider is done. Let's move on to Blushing Bride. So I have this petal here, this bloom, and I've got my coordinating stamp. And I've got Blushing Bride, which is a beautiful, beautiful pink. And we're going to stamp that right on top like that. Really pretty. And now we're going to move on to our Misty Moonlight layers. So we've got Misty Moonlight here, and we're going to stamp this little bloom, it's not a bloom, it's a stem. So we're just going to stamp right over top and get that all inked up. And now let's do our leaves. So we've got a big leaf here. So for the leaf, we have a solid part. We're going to stamp the solid piece, oops, on top. Whoop, it fell. Okay, let's try that one more time. Okay, so we've got the solid part. And clean that up. And then I've got the lines, which is the more detailed part of the leaf. Now stamp that over top like that. And I've got it, it's quite a dark leaf, but I do have another one up here because remember I mentioned at the beginning of the video that you can stamp, you can cut 2 at a time. So let's see, let's try that one more time. And you can stamp off too if you want your leaf to look lighter in the background. You can stamp off and do second generation. So that's what I did right there. So let's see how that looks. I'm going to come on in over top now with my lines and my detail. And there we have it. I like that. So we will discard this one and we'll use that one. That's the beauty of being able to cut 2 pieces at once. You have extras, right? Okay, my last little leaf that I have to do is my tiny one. So again, I've got my solid piece. I'm going to stamp off on my scrap and then onto my piece. So I've got my solid image and then I've got the detail right here. And I'm just going to stamp over top like that. There we have our leaves in Misty Moonlight. Okay, so now we're just going to bring in my multi-purpose glue and we're going to layer these all up here. So I've got my little accent ones here. So I'm just going to add a bit of glue to the center of this guy and we're going to put the bumblebee layer on top like that. And then this cluster of, like, this is going to be the center. So this one is stamped with, oh geez, I lost the name of the color, cinnamon cider. So we're going to put that in the center of our flower, our little bloom. And then we've got our other accent for our Blushing Bride. Going to put a little bit of glue there and just layer that on there. And I think, okay, yeah, we're going to put some leaves behind this bloom right here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to that leaf and just come on in here with the flower and lay that down over top like that. And then this stem is going to be for these blooms. So let's just put a little bit of glue on the tips of each of these little stems and we can just lay this right on top of here like that. So you see how we've got all these little elements happening here. And we're just line them all up. And then once you've got them all ready to go, the rest is easy, right? You just decorate your card or your scrapbook page. It's so much fun to use die cuts and stamps like this. I'm going to accent this leaf with a little leaf off to the side like that. There. So it just gives a little bit more depth and dimension to our leaf. Just hold that in place till it's stuck. Okay, so now I went ahead before I went on camera and I did doubles because I could cut 2 of everything. So I have 2 of each bloom. Let's bring all those in here. So I've got 2 leaves, 2 of my bigger flowers, 2 of my smaller flowers. So let's go ahead and do the fun part. Let's put all this together on a card. So we're going to do our layering here. So we're going to do everything onto this layer for the front of the card. So we're going to start off to the side here. We're going to actually, let's just flip all these over and put glue on them. I like to do things in bulk, you know, like put all your glue on and then do all your stamping, do all your die cutting, do all your stamping, put all your glue on, and then it just makes crafting so much faster and simpler instead of doing one piece at a time. And so let's just put our glue on all of our pieces. Here, just gonna keep going. As long as I got the glue in my hand and it's flowing, I might as well put the glue everywhere I need it. And then it's just placement, right? Okay, so let's do this. Let's put, we're gonna go across. It's gonna be like a diagonal pattern. So we're gonna put a bloom up here, and then we're gonna put a big bloom right here, overlapping. And then we're gonna put, let's do the opposite corner, because I said we're gonna go diagonally, right? So we're gonna put one down here, and then another one right on top like that. I like how this is looking already. And we're nowhere near finished yet, but we're gonna just layer all of this up here, the one up here, and I'm gonna put a leaf underneath here, pressing it all down. I feel like a florist, like I'm making a bouquet. Oh, so much fun. Okay, so let's put another one of these blooms down here, and the pink one, the blushing bride, another one right here. And we've got another bloom. Let's put that guy up here like this. Yes, okay. And I've got one more leaf, and I'm gonna put that one down here underneath. I'll just tuck it under this bloom. So there I have the background of my card. Now, I love these colors together. They are just popping. I love the bumblebee with the cinnamon cider and the blushing bride. I feel like they go really nicely together. The design artist that did this one was obviously very talented. I love, love, love the Stampin' Up! Design artists. They do such a fantastic job on the samples in the catalog. I love to use them as inspiration. Now I'm just gonna grab some twine, some basic white twine right here. From the snail mail twine pack, we get 2 packages. Hi, Lori. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining me. You get Blushing Bride and you get your basic white. So I'm going to grab my basic white, and we're going to come in here and wrap some twine around this front layer. So you can use washi tape or a little bit of Scotch tape. I do like to use Scotch tape on the back if I'm doing something like this, just to hold things down. So I'm just going to secure my twine, and I'm going to come across here once, twice, maybe 3 times like this, and then come to the back here and snip it off. And you can add a little bit more of your tape just to secure it, and then you don't have to worry about the glue. So no one's going to see this anyway. This is the back of your card. So there, we've got a little bit of twine going on the center of our card. And now this is ready actually to go down onto our card base. And you could put it on dimensionals, but I'm going to leave it popped up. I'm going to leave it flat, I think. So I'm going to put dimensionals on my greeting part. So I'm just going to put my glue on here. And we're going to put this down onto the card front, like so. And now we're going to do our greeting. So for the greeting, I have a piece of basic white that measures 3.5 by 1 3/4. So I'm going to bring in that big, beautiful font, the word happy, and my bumblebee ink pad here. And we're just going to stamp our word happy on here. And just ink this up. And we're going to stamp right in the center. Like, whoops, I'm putting my head in the camera. Okay, so there we've got happy. And I want to say sending lots of happy at the top. So I'm going to bring in my matching cinnamon cider. I'm going to stamp sending lots right up here. Make sure I get lots of ink on here, nice and juicy. Sending lots of happy. And then I have the word mail. I got that ready to go on this block. I'm going to stamp that at the bottom, down here, like that. There we have it. That's going to be our greeting for the front of the card. Now we can pop that up on dimensionals, because I haven't put any dimensionals on any of my layers so far. So I'm going to put dimensionals on here. I'm going to grab 4 of them, 1 for each corner. And that's going to sit on the front of my card. And I have a fun embellishment that I'm going to put on this card. I love these embellishments. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to put this right here on top of the blooms. The blooms will still be peeking out around the edges. Oh, I just love it. Okay, so there's my greeting, sending lots of happy mail. Who would not love to get this card in the mail, right? I mean, it's such a happy card. You can take some basic white and tie. I always like to tie the inside of the card to the outside of the card. And you can use your coordinating stamps. You still got them on your block. You might as well use them up. So I'm going to grab this one in Blushing Bride and stamp that right there. We can stamp the other coordinating flowers, you know, beside it. Don't need to do all of them, but just a couple. I'm going to do one in Cinnamon Cider right here, going off the edge like that. And let's bring in some Bumblebee, and we're going to add a little accent to the center. So let's make sure, get my colors cleaned up. So I'm going to add a Bumblebee accent right there. Oh, I just love these cards, like these stamps. They're just so beautiful. What about Misty Moonlight? We got to tie a little bit of Misty Moonlight in here. Let's do a center on here like that. And we'll add some leaves. So we can do, I'm running out of room here. Got too much stuff on my desk. Okay, so we're just going to add a leaf right here like that. And then I'm going to find my background one, stamp it off, and then add a little bit of color to the leaf. Just color that in a little bit. And then we can also add the bigger leaf coming off the side if you wanted to up here. Let's see how that looks. Stamp that one right there. And then the matching one, we'll stamp that off and we'll add our little bit of blue color there. So there we have it. We have some flowers going on the inside of our card. You can, you can stamp till your heart's content, right? You can add some little tiny blooms around here to fill it in, go off the edge. There we go. And don't forget, sending lots of happy mail. Now you can make your own greeting for the inside, and you can say happy birthday on the inside if this is going to be a birthday card. So we can stamp happy inside like that. And we can grab birthday. Why not? Let's finish this off. I'm sure I will be using this as a birthday card. Lots of birthdays coming up for me here. So for my friends and family, happy birthday. Oh, I just love it. Okay, so we are going to put that on the inside of the card. And then I'm going to bring in those fun embellishments that I was telling you about. Just bling up the outside of the card. Close all my ink pads so don't put my hand in them. All right, so we're going to just add some glue. I don't like to put a lot of glue, like just the tiniest line of glue is plenty. This glue will stick really, really well. And here we have it. We're going to put this on the inside. Hold that steady. There we go. Love, love, love to stamp the inside of the card as well as the envelope too. So many things you can do with your stamps. Let's bring in an embellishment. We have, these are the little ladybug trinkets, you guys. Look how adorable they are. It actually looks like he's moving across there. They are so, so cute. And you just attach them to your hand stamp cards and scrapbook pages using glue dots. So I like to use my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to pick up a glue dot and I'm going to put it onto the card where I'm going to put the ladybugs. So I'm going to put one there. We're going to put two ladybugs on here. We're going to put one there, and we're going to put one down here like that. And then you can use the other side of your Take Your Pick tool with the putty end, and you can pick up those little ladybugs, and then you can put one on top of your glue dot. Make it super easy. Come on. I need to order another package of these because I've used so many of these little ladybugs. They're just adorable. And you can color them with your blends too and make them red so they really look like ladybugs. So there we have our ladybug accents. We've got our twine on here. And to finish off the twine, I did tie a little teeny tiny bow See that tiny bow? I'm going to stick that onto my, the corner, the edge of my card. It's going to go right here. So I'm going to go ahead, put that bow right there. And then once it's secure, I'm just going to bring in my scissors and trim it. There we have it. There. So now we have a nice little bow. We have our ladybugs, all the beautiful blooms, and the inside is stamped. This is such a pretty card. I cannot wait to put this one in the mail for my friend who's having a birthday coming up and to bring joy to her. This stamp set, you guys, Pretty Perennials, is such a fantastic stamp set. I love, love, love it. It's only available to the end of June in the mini catalog. It's not carrying over. So if you like this one, you love the dies, grab it while you can, because I'm featuring things, of course, that are not carrying over. So I cannot take credit for this design. I just copied it, but this is why Stampin' Up! Does, their design artists do these beautiful cards in our catalog to inspire us. So I was totally inspired by this card. It is petal pink, you guys. I'm pretty sure it's petal pink. I don't think it's our new pale papaya, because this is the mini catalog and they weren't featuring new colors in this catalog. So I think this is petal pink. But I did mine today in Blushing Bride. So you can totally change the color scheme, right? You can use the design artist's samples in the catalog to inspire you, and you can create your own cards. So I'm just going to flip you around here. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Phyllis. Thank you so much for coming to join me this morning with your coffee or tea, perhaps. It is Wednesday. Can't believe we're halfway through the week already. It's crazy. Time is flying. I hope I've inspired you to pull out your stamps, ink, and paper to make a card, send a card, or perhaps a scrapbook page. And if you're interested in any of my classes, online classes, virtual classes, please let me know. I would love to add you to my email list and keep you in the loop of what's coming up. I hope you have a great day and you'll come back and join me tomorrow, Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. I'll be here again. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.